Okay, good morning or good evening, depending on where you are. I am in Norway and it's the morning here, 9:30. So, yeah, not the best time, as I often say, to do these live streams, but still, I'm here now and I want to talk about something that I find interesting, but it is also actually a very important topic. Um, Most of you, I guess, have heard that the testosterone level in men, especially young men, is gradually declining. So young men today will have typically a much lower testosterone level than their uh, grandfather had at that age, um, and that's a health problem, obviously. Now, I will briefly just mention some of the things that will happen if your testosterone level is too low. And then I will try to look into why the why. Why is the testosterone level sinking? There must be a reason or several reasons. And there is actually a few things we know about this. And just to give you a little bit of information about my background in this, I used to work as a therapist, and part of my work was I was helping people with diet uh, and to live a more healthy lifestyle. I also have been coaching people in powerlifting, and I have to add, in today's day and age, sadly, that's IPF. That's my federation. That means that it's drug free, or should be drug free, drug tested powerlifting. And I have been a powerlifter for most of my life, and I have competed on the national scene and on the Norwegian national team as well, uh, in the Europeans and the worlds. So that's my background. So naturally, I have been interested in having a healthy level of testosterone myself as well. Um, so if you have now, I'm not going to talk so much about women here. Women need testosterone as well, much less, of course, than the men. But I will first and foremost talk about how this affects men. Now, if your testosterone level is too low, you will be you will likely it's more, how should I put it? You're more likely to get depressed and feel that you don't have any energy, you know. And actually, that's a lot of people I know, they go to the psychologist and so on, and they try to work out why they feel depressed and why they don't have any energy, while maybe they should have started by mapping their hormone profile, because if your testosterone is low, it doesn't help to go to therapy with a psychologist. It will never fix the real reason, right? Now, you are more likely to get serious diseases like cancer. I believe also, uh, me and English, I'm sorry, diabetes. It's the same in Norwegian. And your your likelihood of becoming seriously ill if you have low testosterone is quite dramatically increased. But for most people, they notice this by this feeling of not having enough energy. They get depressed, and some people also, typically, they don't have any. I'll just say it. Use the word here. They don't have any sex drive naturally, because you need that hormone to function as a man, right? It is the masculine hormone, if you will. So let's see here. Wonderful to see so many people here in the live stream. Going to get into things that will trigger some people. These in today's society, people get triggered easily. People are very emotional. Um, I, I don't know. Is that because people don't have enough testosterone? I don't know, but a little bit of a sidetrack there. So, okay, so why are we seeing this drop or this steady decline in the testosterone level in young people, especially young men? Why is that? Now, there is people are speculating why, but there are a few factors that I've done some research for this one actually. Most of this I knew already, but I'll just point out some of the more common or obvious reasons. So first, you want to look at the patient, right? And try to figure out, are there any obvious reasons for the low testosterone level in that person? Now, obesity, I believe, is the most common single reason. If you were to point at one reason, obesity is probably the most important and significant reason, and that's because fat cells metabolize testosterone into estrogen. So obviously, it's not only do you get less free testosterone in your body, but you also get more estrogen, which I'm sure you know is the opposite of what you want, right? It's that's the feminine hormone, and I'm talking about having excess body fat. So BMI is not a good measurement of this here, because if you have someone who is very muscular and quite heavy, you won't see that there, obviously, because we're talking about the fat tissue itself. Okay, yeah, and another one here actually, soy. Now, a lot of people say that soy will decrease your testosterone because the testosterone level, because soy mimics estrogen in your body, which is true. But I have to add that I haven't been able to find research on this one that is, clear. It's still not clear. That could be because there's a lot of money invested in the soy industry. They want soy to be your protein source. Soy is not a healthy food, and it's not good for the planet either. And there are indications that soy will lower your testosterone. I avoid soy completely, okay? But I can't sit here and say that it has been proven 100%. It's 100% certain that it will lower testosterone in your body. It's because the research is not 100% clear, but there are indications that soy will lower your testosterone. And curiously, also here, and I don't want to use words that I don't want. There are certain words I won't use here, and this one, some of you will hate me for saying this, but we know and we have known for a long time that a certain recreational drugs. And no, don't write it in the chat. We get rid of that. a certain recreational drug that has been legalized, sadly, in many countries, is notorious for lowering the testosterone level. We know this. We've known it for a long, long time. And this is probably the reason why you'd see that a lot of people who are into that, they will, after a while, feel a need to take synthetic testosterone to replace what their body can't make anymore. um, and also, a lot of people have a lack of healthy fats in their diet. There is a discussion going on about what is healthy fats. If you ask me, I would say that all animal fats are healthy. Plant fats are not necessarily good for you. That's my opinion, and a lot of other carnivores would say the same. But to be fair, again, that hasn't been completely proven. But we know that at least you will need healthy fats, like fats from fish, like salmon and so on, um, to to have a healthy level of testosterone. At least it makes it much easier for your body to maintain that healthy level. And you could add to this physical inactivity. You can add to this stress, and there are other factors coming into this equation as well. But what I find most interesting here is the mental reasons, or your mind, how your mind is affecting this. Okay, let me first add that there are some physical reasons that hasn't been proven, but I'll just mention it. Um, your environment, like pollution in your environment, plastics, microplastics, and things like that. Electric smog, if you know what that is. We are in an environment with a lot of electric signals, and that's called electric fields. Sorry, that's called electric smog. What about the mobile network, Wi-Fi signals, things like that? It's very difficult to find proper research on how that has affected, or if it is affecting, testosterone. But I think at least it's worth looking into. Yeah, and if you listen to this these live streams before, you know that I'm not a big fan of the new mobile network, and there are reasons for that. So let's look at some of let's look at the mental side of this. Okay, I read a report, a scientific report. I think it was uh, a few years ago, where they had looked at people, um, how their stance was, like how they, if they were standing with the like shoulders back. Um, and I'm sorry, I can't find that report anymore, but I think the result was very interesting. They found a lowering of testosterone when people were told to hunch their shoulders, while the opposite when people had a more proud, if you will, stance. And we know that your mental state will affect your hormones. So if you're depressed, for instance, Rhonda, thanks a lot for the super chat, and thank you, thanks a lot. Yeah, so for instance, if you're depressed, you know, it will affect your hormones. And that goes the other way around as well. If your hormone levels, like I said to start with here, if your testosterone is low, you're more likely to become depressed. And I believe that, and this is the controversial part, I guess. I believe that the whole concept of, toxic masculinity, shaming young boys for behaving like boys, and this whole thing about positive masculine behavior not being a good thing is very harmful to young men. And could that be at least part of the reason? Because what I see is that young men are being told not to be masculine. And now I live in Norway, and we don't really see this here, but I've noticed that in the USA, people in certain subcultures, I think that's the right word, certain subcultures, or the men in those subcultures they will be dress like in an anti-masculine way, not like wearing a dress and things like that, but they will have this strange behavior, in my mind, a very strange behavior, and even change their voice, and they talk in a feminized way. Now I'm thinking for myself, and this is just me, I don't know, I'm just guessing here. I'm guessing that that's not their natural voice. And if you behave like that, I think it will affect your testosterone level, while the opposite would also be true, right? If you're physically very active, you go out and you chop wood and you go to the gym, you eat healthy, and you feel confident, you have no problem approaching women and so on, and all those traits that are considered typically masculine. I think that will actually have a positive effect on your testosterone level. And no, I'm not talking about behaving like some kind of unpleasant guy. No, not talking about that at all. Just talking about proper, positive, confident masculinity. I would guess that if you have that behavior, that will strengthen, and maybe in your hormone level, it will maybe increase your testosterone level. I don't know. It's just me guessing here. And I'm not trying to, I'm not there will be we are not all the same, right? So some men will be more or less masculine than others, and that's fine. That's completely fine. I'm just a little bit worried about the health aspect of this, because we know that if your testosterone level is too low, you are at risk for depression and huge number of diseases. So, this is quite important. I find it important, and it's not being addressed much in mainstream media. Wonder why. But I am seeing that, what they call, I don't know what they call it, but they give men synthetic testosterone, right? So that pretty much shuts off the body's production of testosterone. I'm sure that there are cases where that is necessary, But why don't we try to change our lifestyle and live in such a way that your body can do that in a natural way, like you're supposed to? Um, just an idea, I'm against this idea that if there's something wrong with you, you're given a pill or a shot or a syringe in your arm or something like that. I'm against that. I think we should try to live a natural and positive lifestyle. So, okay. Let's see here. Marion Gran Bruheim is asking. Yeah, well, if actually, yes, if a man is overweight and has too much estrogen, will he regain or increase his ability to produce testosterone if he loses the weight? If he loses the fat, yes, because it's simple chemistry actually. The less fat you have, uh, the the less of that process is going on where you are metabolizing your testosterone into estrogen. I just want to mention also that people who, for some reason, have a very, very low uh, percentage of body fat, they will also almost lose their ability to produce testosterone, and you see it in sports, and well, that's obviously not a big problem because when you're trying to make your weight class and things like that, that's you're doing that for maybe you're in that state with a very low fat percentage for maybe a couple of weeks, and then I've never had to drop that much in weight myself, but I've heard stories they they pretty much lose all uh, sex drive, but yeah, if you drop weight, meaning that you get rid of the fat, you will not you will there will be more free testosterone in your blood. Absolutely. um, so DJ Rockford 83 says MMA fighters often end up on TRT. TRT is, I believe, testosterone replacement therapy. Yeah, well, that's sad. I didn't know that. Yeah, healthy, and Peter says healthy fat muscle balance is key. Absolutely. Let's see. Okay. And Doc T says you need to work out, eat healthy, keep a positive mindset, and do manly things. It takes some effort, but you can do it. Yes. Garden prepping, good to see you as always. GB, good to see you. Yeah, and when we're talking about young men and how their behavior could maybe, and just me guessing again, just me guessing, maybe their behavior could actually affect their testosterone level. If there is no father there, it is more difficult to become that positive masculine person, right? And we see that a lot of people in subcultures where the father is not often present, let's just put it that way, they will have a, a very toxic slash immature behavior that they maybe I believe they think that's being masculine, but it's not. It's not. It's just being not a good person behavior. So vitamin B12, yeah, that we do need that. Let's see here. Yeah, sometimes it's not possible to have that male role model in the home. It's I'm not here to demonize mothers who are single mothers. Why would I do that? There are so many idiots out there and men who are not interested in being fathers. Sadly, you know. Um, yeah, let's see here. Um, yeah, I'm going to keep this live stream quite short. Yeah, well, DJ Rockford 83 says, I do wonder if the chlorine in our water does something too. Again, should be interesting to look into that, to have someone independent researchers do research on that. So yeah, as I said, there are some things we know, and I mentioned some of the main sources of or main reasons that for the lowering of testosterone, and there are others as well. But I am sure that there are additional reasons that we should look into, and also I think there are people with a financial interest here who are not interested in having the truth out there. For instance, soy, it's big business, um, and I'll just tell you what I have observed, and this is again not me trying to make people look bad or anything like that, and I have a lot of respect for people who live the vegan lifestyle out of ethical reasons. It's I That's important for me to say, but it seems to me like people who do eat a vegan diet, they have a bit of a problem maintaining the I'm talking about men now. They have a bit of a problem of maintaining the certain masculine features of their physiology, let's put it that way. And I actually see it in this part here. I don't know if you have noticed this, but what I'm seeing is that they are losing this muscle here. That's the frontal deltoid muscle. And they're losing their biceps. So from here, it goes straight down and it's all flat. I don't know if you have noticed that, but to me, that is a sign of your body not being able to build muscle. And that again is a sign of other things going on that are actually much more serious. So, you might disagree, but I feel that it needs to be said. I think this is something that can be observed. Um, and yeah, okay. Frederick says, I have noticed it. Yeah. Um, yeah, we Well, at least I haven't seen data from other parts of the world when it comes to the drop in testosterone. It would be interesting to compare it with let's say a country where they don't have, for instance, electric smog. A country without some of the issues that I have mentioned here. It would be interesting. Um, A human says, I have noticed that older men are more physical than young men these days. Well, yeah, I have noticed that um, people my age, well, men my age, will be often, if they work out, they will very often be at least just as fit as young men, or dare I say, in better shape. Um, and that's almost like, it's unnatural. you know um, yeah, I don't know. um, yeah, Africa and Asia would be an interesting testosterone comparison. Absolutely. And in many parts of Asia they eat an almost vegan diet, so it would be interesting to see if there is really something going on there with a lot of soy. But it's fermented soy, so it's not exactly the same. But I don't know that much about it. So again, that's why I'm saying that soy looks like it's something there that is lowering your testosterone, but it's the research. It's not completely certain on that there. Um, let's see here. Yeah, well, the levels of testosterone, I actually in Norway we use not the same. Well, we use a different, not a different scale, but we use a different. You have like pounds and kilos, so a difference there, right? And we have the same kind of difference. We're using a different. So I can't compare. That's what I'm trying to say. Um, yeah, it's not metric, but it's because it's yeah, I should have looked into that. I can't remember what it's called here, but you have to kind of recalculate it into the US thing and or back. Um, yeah, so so that's why I can't compare with the numbers that you're writing here. Um, no, it's not imperial metric. It's just that they use, for some reason, in Europe a different. Again, I can't remember what's it called now. I can't remember, but it's like liters and ounces. Like there's a difference there. So you would use ounces, right? And we would use liters. Or yeah, okay. Yeah, different units. Yes, yes. Um, and that's a topic in itself. Like the British, they use stones. Stones. I find that very funny because a stone. I mean, there is no logic in that. There are stones out in my garden. Some are big, some are small. Is it a big stone, a small stone? It doesn't make any sense to me. So, yeah, one stone is 14 pounds. Yeah, okay. That's why 14. So, yeah. But anyway, just wanted to share these thoughts with you. Um, it's an interesting topic, and it is important as well for our health. And I think it all boils down to, um, again, that it, if we can live a healthy, natural lifestyle uh, without these, well, you should eat food, right? Food and water. So that's a good place to start. Eat food and water. Don't take anything else into your physiology, right? That's a good place to start. And have also, I need to mention, get enough sleep. I forgot to mention that. Um, so it's not, as I often say, this is not rocket science. We kind of know what to do and what not to do to be healthy. If you have excess body fat, eat less carbs and eat less in general, and get out there, start hiking, walking, lift weights, and be active. You know, um, and it seems like if you are healthy, if you're living a healthy lifestyle, your testosterone level will also most likely be at a healthy level. Um, so it's not that for most people it's not complicated, you know. And yeah, there you have it. Sally says get off YouTube. Well, we are on YouTube now. I hope you're not talking to me. But yeah, of course there is also that uh, the thing we're not supposed to mention, uh, that has been handed out to people during the last 2 years as supposedly, it was going to solve the issue of the plague, as I call it. Yeah, I'm not going to get into that because of the censorship and all that. So, but could be something there, to put it mildly. You know, so I don't. I can tell you that this family here, we haven't been near any of that nonsense, and um, we never will. And we've been completely healthy and all that. Mike is asking, can you buy testosterone enhancing stuff in Norway? No. Well, a healthy lifestyle, a healthy diet. That's all you need. You know, that's all you need. So, yeah, you're Biden and all that. I'm still in shock, not in shock because it was expected, but I'm amused because I saw something that I hope was like a fake video where he put a medal on a guy the wrong way, so the medal was hanging down his back. So, um, so there's a bit of entertainment value in that guy. Let's hope it was one of those fake videos floating around the internet. But uh, yeah, it was funny. It was funny. Um, yeah, it was really. Yeah, it was very funny because this guy who got the medal, he was very serious. He was being very serious. He was just standing there with the medal hanging down his back. Oh, okay, okay, yeah. That's all for now. I hope you enjoyed this little chat, and as always, good to see you all here in the live stream, in the chat, and I'll be back as soon as I can with another live stream. And have a wonderful day.